Hello there everyone and welcome back. I am going to play a little bit more of the Space Marines and we're going to play with Blood Angels. Although there is no difference to these sub-factions outside of maybe a little bit of cosmetic look, showcasing their logo on every one of the ships I believe. But there's nothing unique about this, it's just to at least satisfy everyone ideally by representing all of the chapters we can here. At least that the game will allow for me. I would kind of like, was it, the Legion of the Damned to be on here an option? Although it's been forever since I played the tabletop, I wonder if they expanded that lore a bit, or further or not. Let alone enough for like fully combat, somehow I doubt that. Either way, I am going to be mixing up a tiny bit, as much as I like the potential of 6 cruisers. Let's have some fun with a Battle Barge for crying out loud. I talked about how this thing is like the only ship in the Space Marine fleet that actually has terrifying and fearsome macro weaponry. And while that is true, its main strength, of course, is its sheer durability. 83 armor all around, and the fact that the cruisers or the rest of the fleet can't really support the best. It's mostly to draw fire and do absurd amount of boarding damage. Although it's going to have a lot of difficulty getting its torpedoes to connect, let's not kid ourselves. So that might take a little bit of work. Actually, I don't even think I want these skills anymore. I probably will still go with Disruption Bomb. It will depend on the matchup itself, in all truth. And even there's a reason to get extended range on the Battle Barge, since at least that way it can keep itself safe at a distance while taunting my opponent. But again, and unlike my 6 cruiser fleet, I at least have some upgrades I can jump around to, which could benefit me. But we'll see what happens. Let's have some fun and hope it goes well. Okay, I recognize this opponent. This was the Orc player from the last video, was it? I could be wrong. I recognize the name somewhere. It definitely isn't the Eldari player, so either way, they're representing their Season 1 commitment, so that could mean anything. They could have not played Armada 2 for forever and are now rusty, or they're just trying to hide their true capacity or true ability at this game. One has to wonder. All I know is if it's the Orc player, they did not use Mega Cannons, they did not use Evil Suns or Blood Axes, so it's not the norm of what their fleet was. Actually, I want to separate these guys. Which one is my Nova? Because it's faster and I would like it to kind of reveal. And this one just provides support for... Actually, I don't even know why I have this fleet spread out, ideally, but... Disruption Bomb could be good. I don't have a Kulex's Assassin, which is probably could bite me in the ass if I... I think I play a more slower type of game, and they do not have a Disruption Overcharge, so I can get really good value out of my shields, but it's going to be tricky winning in a game of attrition.
Engines engaged.
Now, a lot of light cruisers, perhaps. Yeah, let's just get to grabbing points.
At your command.
There's not much need to boost here. I could just micro warp jump at the worst case.
I am listening.
I am just curious what the fleet consists of. And I'm trying to listen for light cruisers. I thought I heard something, but I could be wrong.
Show us the enemy.
Either way, we'll grab points.
To where we are needed.
Ideally, I want to try and grab these 3 points and wait to see what they do afterwards. And hell, how quickly do they grab this? Well, I could tell you those are not 2 battleships.
Show us the enemy.
So that's the one benefit I have there. So light cruisers will be pretty good for me if we're dealing with a bunch of light cruisers. Always possible there's something high in the gas cloud here. So I need to watch for a micro warp jump. Hell, there could be something in Asteroid Belt here too.
You have seized a strategic area.
Okay, maybe this was the... No, this is not the same opponent from before, the Imperial Navy player, because they only had level 1. They were only Admiral level 1, so they didn't even have any rankings.
Where shall we strike?
Okay, taking damage from the asteroid belt, that's fine.
All power to engine.
Yeah, we'll see about grabbing the third point.
We stand ready.
And see about doing damage to them. I have range on this Battle Barge, so it's a good opportunity to do that.
Show us the enemy.
I'm just wondering if I should scanner pulse, because there are likely light cruisers around.
I am listening.
Definitely need to be
To where
careful.
we are needed.
But there is more than meets the eye here. And I heard boosting.
Where shall we strike?
So emission dissipator is the other skill.
Repositioning.
Is what it sounds like.
We stand ready.
Yep. They're coming after me.
Underway.
I've been revealed by
We
something.
stand ready.
You have seized a strategic area.
And I have the armor and means to deal
Where
with
shall
them
we
pretty
strike?
well, but the question is, where are they hiding?
Moving to position. I am listening.
Well, we found some frigates. That doesn't mean much. Oh, they probably could have extended sensors. No, it's mission dissipators, so there is something behind me.
Halt.
Alright.
Advance.
If you want to make this easy for me, go ahead.
Repositioning. All power to engines. Give us purpose.
Your torpedoes failed abysmally.
Command. Our wrath cannot be denied.
I'm sorry for that not going well for you.
Hold course.
Alright,
Boarding cause critical damage.
so let's just murder everything, I guess.
To where we are
Actually,
needed.
let me just ram them. I don't burn as much combustion gauge that way, although I was hoping to ram the other one, but I guess that works.
Show us the enemy.
Alright,
Ready? Enemy in sight.
so my opponent's surprise has been foiled. Hell, let me just fire torpedoes, I guess.
Teleport attack successful.
And I did not select
To where
the
we are
ship, the
needed.
cruiser, but we're in good shape
Show
now.
us the enemy. Our wrath cannot be denied. Moving to position.
Now, fighters going to be able to deny them. They're in the middle of nowhere at the same time.
Full speed. We stand ready.
And that's a drifting Hulk burning to death, so
Underway.
just grab the points now. All I need to do.
Engaged.
It's a bit of a gimmicky strategy and it did not pay off. Although my fighters... yeah, that's the mistake. I had not having my fighters actually go chase the target.
Enemy
The
in
torpedoes
sight.
just got shot down, but that's not a big deal.
I am listening.
We got the real
Move into
prize,
position.
which is these objectives.
Show us the enemy.
And with
You
that
have
said,
accumulated 25%
I don't even need a Nova
strategic
here, because it's
points.
kind of pointless. And that's about to burn to death.
Repositioning. Halt advance.
Just keep harassing. I wasted my torpedo charge, which is unfortunate, but I think we're okay here.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Show us the
Now
enemy.
just regroup
To where we are needed.
and be ready to deal with these guys.
I am listening.
And since there are only two
Give us
cruisers,
purpose.
I have a good opportunity to just wear down.
You have seized
Their
a
point defense
strategic
some.
area.
Let's just not
Moving
waste
to
my
position.
torpedoes this time, please. That would be the
We stand
ideal
ready.
circumstance.
You have seized a strategic area.
It will be destroyed.
Alright, fighters are distracted point defense, so this should be fine there.
Obliterate that target.
Alright,
Where shall we strike? At your we strike? Boarding cores critical
Now
damage.
just recharge the shields, all I need to do.
Underway.
Pretty simple at this point.
Enemy in sight.
Alright. Well, we kind of saw that coming. To an extent, but now we got.
To where we
Now
are
we just gotta kill these things quickly. Because they are boring me.
underway. Force advance. Our wrath cannot be denied.
Okay, thankfully they took most of the hit.
Strategic.
There is gonna be more boring damage in a moment.
We stand ready.
Now, can we cripple this amazingly?
Boarding successful. Moving to position. Give us purpose. Prepare for impact. Initiate targeting protocol.
And actually, I can micro warp jump this out, I think.
At your command.
If they're not gonna be able to board me.
Where shall we strike?
They do have melted torpedoes, so let's not get complacent. Where's my air cruiser?
Course.
And get this ship out for stability's sake.
Engines engaged. Give us purpose.
Although I wanted torpedoes,
Directing.
I got distracted a bit.
I am listening. Full speed.
Although I think we're okay still. Torpedoes are gonna hit hard.
All course.
The enemy has accumulated 25% of strategic points.
That was a odd display of the wreckage or debris, but
All power to engines.
that was not what I want.
Purpose.
But I think we're out still.
Moving to position.
The enemy has accumulated 50% of strategic
I thought it was out, but I guess not.
Full speed. Initiate Thunderhawk bombardment.
Mutiny gone, but no deck loss, because I never did prioritize the deck.
Repositioning.
We're in good shape, though.
Where shall we strike? Boarding course.
Just need to kill this ship now.
To where we are needed. Setting priority target. Hold course.
You have accumulated
Alright.
75% of strategic points.
I'm waiting for the torpedoes.
Hold advance. Underway. All power to engines.
Now, I do have fire assaults, so let's be careful here.
Show us the
So that is over. And I still had a frigate. Alright. I knew there was some kind of ship hitting, but it was also a bit of a gimmick at the same time. I should have committed with the Nova trying to find the ship down. Either way, I managed to get out. The Battle Barge was able to microwarp jump out. Sadly, losing those two cruisers to the Scuttle was probably the biggest mistake, because I almost thought they were both clear there. And they're a little bit of extra durability, and at least would have sealed the deal. Either way, it was a bit of a mess, wasn't it? And I wasn't paying attention to what the objective score was, but with me having at least 4 points, I was in good shape either way. I just had to make sure my fleet wasn't destroyed. Alright, more Necrons, and outside their Star Pulse generator, I have a lot of means to kill off this fleet with my boarding damage alone. My boarding torpedoes are going to have a little bit of a difficult time connecting, but this is the same person who preemptively Star Pulse generators on me, so maybe all I need to do is just wait for him to make the mistake and punish him heavily for it. If I had to guess. Although the honest question becomes, do I go with the extended range? Armor piercing can be pretty important, but because I would like to try and cripple them, but they can jump in range pretty quickly. I'm just wondering. I honestly am wondering if I want which upgrade would be better? Probably an armor piercing ammo, maybe, but still, there's a value for Kulex's assassin too. This is an odd predicament. I don't know what upgrades to get. I have a lot of choices here, as opposed to before. And I'll take the plasma bomb for more damage. I'm comfortable in my ability to keep distance, at least for a good while. I just need to reveal them. Unless they're using mass recall, then I could be in trouble. So I need to somehow spot that ahead of time. Okay, there we go. For some reason it looked like I was alt-tabbing there whenever I tried to open up the chat box. And there are a good amount of gas clouds here. I'm wondering just how aggressive I can get. Because I'll probably have to fall back with no armor-piercing ammo, let alone they can just do an absurd amount of damage in close with their Scarab Swarm. So I don't think I'm going to want to stay close to even get value out of the armor piercing.
Repositioning. I am listening. Engines
But
engaged.
we're looking at double tomb ships yet again. And if I remember correctly, they had the light cruiser not as the flagship,
To where we are needed.
which is going to be an important factor.
I am listening.
It's just a question, is there any point to launching fighters to even try and reveal them? Because they have opportunities to hide in the gas cloud really easily.
You have seized a strategic area.
Underway.
We'll have to play it by ear, really.
Give us purpose.
Because I do have the range to do damage,
we are
I just need
needed.
to spot
You
them.
have seized a strategic area.
And if I can get some lucky critical hits, that helps. Alright, so that makes me a lot more
Where shall
comfortable,
we strike?
The enemy
about
has
this
seized a
engagement.
strategic area.
since that basically tells me a light cruiser does not have
Full speed.
the mass recall.
Moving to position.
And I can very easily just fly away from that ship too and
We
try and
stand
soften
ready.
up our Necron opponent.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Alright.
Your command. Enemy in sight. Engines engaged.
Alright, so that's pretty much dead by crew damage. I'm not too
Show us
concerned
the
about
enemy.
that. Excessive, but all the chapters not really... Well, I'm not at risk of losing engine components or anything like that yet.
You have seized a strategic area.
So,
Give us
I heard
purpose.
scanner pulses, so where was that?
Moving to
I'm
position.
trying to understand.
Show us the enemy. Enemy in sight. Give us purpose.
Alright. I will...
Where shall we
Okay,
strike?
hold that thought. Let's get this out of here, out of reach, and preferably not getting killed.
Underway. That is impossible. We stand ready.
Now let's see about burning the super... combustion... What am I trying to
Show us
say?
the enemy.
I don't know what I'm really trying to say at the moment besides scanner pulse this thing.
At your command.
Do some damage, chip it, force a response. Because you are refusing to use your star pulse generator.
Underway.
And I am... Oh god, that was
Our wrath
that was
cannot
embarrassing.
be denied. Where shall we strike?
I burnt my torpedoes at the wrong target.
All
Okay, so
servitors
repairs
and
came back
Marines
up at a
begin
good time
repairs.
there.
I am listening.
But I think
Boarding
the...
successful.
What am I trying to say? Well, this will force a response,
I am
maybe.
listening.
Alright, that's
Hold
good.
course.
Now I'm curious
Boarding course, critical damage.
what happens next in this exchange. I want to keep firing torpedoes slowly but surely.
It will be destroyed. Give us purpose.
and take advantage of the damage we're doing. I'll worry about the other ships later. And your engines are currently gone, but not the deck.
Moving to position.
Apparently my opponent just... Okay, there, that's more like it.
At your command.
I was worried my opponent didn't know how to use that, his star pulse generator, for
We
crying out
stand
loud.
ready. Hold course.
Now keep hitting this thing. Cripple it, disruption overcharge, it'll be good.
Underway.
I'm not even gonna bother right now with that.
Where shall we strike? Engines engaged.
Actually,
Hold advance.
alright, so you're jumping away. That's fine.
Boarding caused critical damage.
Now let's grab some points
Where we are needed.
and recover ourselves some.
Show us the enemy.
Because this flagship
Our
is...
wrath cannot be denied.
This flagship down in the middle of nowhere. It's taking a sweet time doing absolutely nothing.
You have accumulated 25% of strategic.
And I'm okay with that.
I am listening.
And there's a ship here that is currently derelict that we can kill off as well.
Hold course.
And it's a good use for my fighters once I reveal it. I'm just not revealing it, it annoys me.
Give us purpose.
Alright, repairs are underway. I heard some jumping.
Moving to position.
Oh, it went over that way, that's fine. Grab the point, kill the frigate, start taking advantage of my lead, even though
We are needed.
they sadly are going to be regenerating some.
I am listening.
Regenerating their health, that is.
Engines engaged.
I have no need to rush this. I got a good surplus point lead.
Show
It gives
us
me a
the
chance to
enemy.
recharge my
Holding
emergency
fire.
repairs.
Hold
And it burns
course.
off their charges.
Where shall we strike?
Grab the point for me, please.
You have seized
Perfect.
a
I almost
strategic
fell off the
area.
objective, which was a bit of a failing there.
Underway.
Yeah, all we have to do is grab the point
Give us
behind them
purpose.
since they kind of
The
forfeited
enemy
it.
has seized a strategic area.
And prepare for a
At your
counterattack.
command.
I think there's still 2 frigates
Show us the
around.
enemy.
Although we didn't reveal it there if there was one that jumped. They're incredibly
Give us
mobile, so
purpose.
it wasn't likely to spot them.
We stand ready.
I burnt all my combustion gauge, that's a bit of a letdown. Not one that my opponent can punish though, because they're just getting out of the gas cloud now. And there's really no point in scanner pulsing that thing, because there's a gas cloud that's just going to reconceal itself in.
Where shall we strike?
Alright. Not much else to say. Outside, maybe try and kill off something.
Hold course.
Maybe. Well, actually I should scanner pulse, because then it forces it to
25% of strategic points.
perhaps try and conceal itself some more. And although, let's not kid ourselves, it probably
I am
will
listening.
conceal itself in the gas cloud here.
Underway.
But scanner pulse should come back up in time. For, yep, there's a frigate there. I got 4 points, that's not a big deal.
Where shall we strike?
I will have 4 points in a moment.
Show us the enemy. Engines engaged.
Yeah.
I am listening.
Nope, that was not what I wanted.
Give us purpose.
You have seized a strategic area.
Moving to position.
Alright, so I have shields, I have plasma bomb.
Hold course.
Let's just kill off the engine somehow.
Where shall we strike?
I just messed up a tiny bit on
Where we are
my
needed.
control.
I am listening.
Oh, and I burnt all my combustion gauge on turning. Wow, that was a shocker.
Positioning.
That I was not prepared for.
Where shall we strike? We stand
Can I?
ready.
Well, I'm just aiming at the engine right now, so it can't
50% of
jump, so
strategic points.
we'll see how this plays out. 3, 2, 1,
Boarding successful.
and got a good amount of boarding in at least.
All power to engines. Tech Marines, calm Stun the machine spirits.
Alright.
Enemy in sight.
I don't...
Strike quickly, brothers.
I'm trying to figure out if the
Underway.
Star Pulse generator was bent or not.
Halt, advance. Hold
But
course.
I don't think it matters. I just gotta weather the damage now.
Our wrath cannot be denied.
Resurrection Orb, it did something at least, so I'll give him that.
Where shall we strike?
I want to ram those, but not meant to be.
Successful. Obliterate that target.
I can take the damage really well here, especially with the kamikaze maneuver we're seeing.
Strategic area.
Got a Drifting Hulk there. I still want to destroy your engines so you can't dodge or jump away.
Where we are needed. Hold
And Reckless,
engines engaged.
Star Pulse Generator. I dislike that. I frown upon your techniques. It may have worked once before, but now you're gonna realize why that's a terrible thing to do.
Give us
Especially against A3 armor, no less.
boarding cause critical damage.
You will learn the hard way. I just wish these were dumbfire damage to torpedoes.
Moving to position.
That is a wrap.
The enemy.
He just does. The crew just doesn't realize it yet. Nice, simple, and well, a little disappointing for me because I would have loved nothing more than to just ram a bunch of 110 damage torpedoes up their stern. There was window for it, but considering how expensive their ships are, it's a lot easier to rely on the boarding damage to kill them. And ideally, it gets a couple of critical hits with my bombardment cannons, which kind of worked out decently. Not perfect, but it worked out decently enough to kind of hinder them. And then my opponent just was afraid to engage the Battle Barge early on, which worked out quite well in my advantage. Okay, so we get ourselves a bit of a rematch. I wasn't expecting this, but it is what we're getting. Let's see if Divinity learned from their lesson there. Save that Star Pulse generator. Although, I do wonder if I really want the Plasma Bomb, since I wasn't really going to win by killing them in damage. It just gives me an alternative, but their tomb ships were still basically at half health. It didn't seem like all that essential. It seemed like anyway. Otherwise, I like the durability the supercharged Void Shield at least gives me to hopefully avoid getting a beatdown. And thankfully that did, yeah, it's managed to keep its distance, but part of that was due to Divinity kind of hanging back and trying to avoid me. Probably a little bit intimidated by the damage I was doing, which probably won't happen if my Battle Barge is over here, I want to argue. So I'm wondering how to adjust my play. Because honestly, they can just force my cruisers out, so I want to try and grab this point as quickly as possible. Unless they jump forward, that might be the exception. And then I'll just try and settle for grabbing these points and... we'll see if they try and dive after this bottom point or not. Because then that leaves me a window to just steal points behind them. We'll see. I'm just honestly curious if the fleet actually changes as well. Or if it's going to be more of the double tomb ships. Otherwise, nothing else to really say, I guess. We've already seen about this matchup. I already talked about a lot of what to expect. I want to keep the Battle Barge at arm's reach as much as possible. Look for maybe windows for boarding torpedoes and just boarding in general. But let's not expect it. Let's try not to force it. Burning my resources before they do is a huge liability with their ability to just immediately jump me. Huh. So there's 3 cruisers this time.
I am listening.
I wonder what to make of that. And I chose lock on instead of reload, which is an annoyance, but I'll be able to recharge that easily enough.
Command.
I'll be able to change that pretty soon is what I mean to say.
You have seized a strategic
So these ships
area.
just aren't moving right now,
You have seized a strategic area.
which works for me. I can just take advantage of this extra momentum, this extra time you're giving me.
Underway.
And I am honestly curious if this is just a light cruiser or what the plan is,
Moving to position.
and even more so why it's not solid running. But the plan stays the same. Grab these 3 points, reconvene,
Hold course.
and see what kind of damage I can get.
To where we are needed.
Okay, so we actually have a cruiser. Is it one with Star Pulse? Yes, it is one with Star Pulse.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
So does that mean we're dealing with 3 battle cruisers? That's what it looks like.
You have seized a strategic
And these Doom
area.
Scythes are not scary. I just gotta make sure I have enough momentum. Oh, they didn't actually
The
target
enemy
my
has
ship, so
seized a
that's
strategic
unfortunate.
area.
I know that feeling there. But let's see about crippling this.
Where shall we strike?
At least force a jump. Because I have 2 frigates ready to spot it as soon as it goes in the gas cloud. Which it's probably gonna do. It's probably gonna jump in the gas cloud. I would love to actually board that.
Enemy in sight. Underway.
I really want to board that.
Boarding successful.
Probably not a good idea.
The enemy. Our wrath cannot be
And actually, it
denied.
took some boarding torpedoes as well, interestingly.
Boarding caused critical damage. Give us purpose.
Alright. Dang it, I hit the wrong button. I want to honor the chapter. That is annoying.
I am listening.
Yeah, well. We got some good boarding damage in. The mass recall was forced.
Boarding caused critical
And
damage.
very little was done to me.
Show us the enemy.
Now let's just grab ourselves another point, shall we?
Boarding successful.
Burnt a little bit too much of my boarding
Boarding
torpedoes
caused
perhaps,
critical
but
damage.
it sounds like we're doing good boarding damage still. They are limping, they are crippled
Where
at the
shall we
moment.
strike? Moving to position.
And I'm still going to have 3 points in a moment.
Give us purpose.
Now I just got to figure out which frigate is in which group. And now we'll start making our way over here. Because, yeah, it looks like my opponent's just going to avoid that point, and I want to get ready to grab it. Get ready to pounce it,
Moving to
ideally.
position.
You have seized a strategic area.
How much do we want to boost forward with that said?
Where shall we strike?
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Don't know just yet.
We stand ready.
Although I'm inconveniently revealed, but... I don't see anyone close to me. I'm in firing range. Well, yeah, 22,000, so I am in range to shoot at them, I think. So let's do a little bit of damage. Some free damage, maybe a good critical hit if I'm so lucky.
Repositioning.
And scanner pulse yields nothing, sadly.
Give us purpose. All power to engine.
Now I just gotta watch for... Whoop,
All
well,
power
fine.
to engines.
You made my life easy.
Hold course.
I gotta be careful, because there's still a ship hit in there.
You have accumulated 25% of strategic points.
Nope, burnt all my combustion gauge. That's always annoying.
Show us
Because
the
I should be
enemy.
babysitting that and doing a terrible job of it. Okay,
Stand ready. That is impossible. Full speed.
so we're not gonna fall for that.
I am listening. Enemy
Because I am outside of range, outside of reach.
underway.
And I want to... Actually, let's just board this.
Where shall we strike?
Get 2 for 1 in this trade.
Moving to position.
And see if this forces a star pulse or not.
Engines engaged. Strike quickly, brothers. Hold
I would like to
course.
fire regular torpedoes, but
Give us purpose. To where
you are
we
nice and crippled right now. Both of them are crippled too, convenient.
I am listening.
That is nice and convenient. I will happily take that.
Where shall we strike?
You gotta stop doing that, please. It's not doing you any favors.
Full speed.
Now, can we punish this?
We stand ready.
Because I can board.
Your command.
There's the resurrection orb.
First the enemy. Our rock cannot be denied.
Sadly, engine critical hits bad timing there.
Engines engaged.
But I am gonna get the points here in a
Enemy
moment.
sight.
And I think... No, that was
Your
2.
command.
That was only 2...
Stand ready.
what am I trying to say?
To where we are
2 mass recalls, so I'm not gonna be able to do...
I am listening.
They can actually do it again, is what I'm trying to say.
Give us purpose.
And crew is actually pretty fragile at the moment. Can I at least hit
Enemy
this?
has accumulated 25% of strategic points.
Actually, let me board the ship, because they are pretty Olympian right now.
And ready.
You have seized a strategic area.
Underway.
We still are in good shape here.
Power to engine.
I probably should have done regular boarding damage, though, or at least boarding parties to force something out of this. Okay. Actually, should I destroy the deck with... Oh well, I was going to ask if destroying the deck actually destroyed or denied
Engines engaged.
the mass recall or not. I honestly don't know the answer to that, though.
Enemy
But I
in
have
sight.
4 points? Hell, what? I don't even need to engage them.
Underway.
But
Hold course.
I would like to fire more torpedoes at them. And ideally,
Engines engaged.
You have
I can't lightning strike though, but I would like to just kill the crew on this ship. Be very mindful of the lances, though.
To where we are needed. Enemy in sight. Repositioning.
Alright, so just bomb them and see what happens. Can I actually kill the ships or not?
At your command. Tech Marine, calm the machine spirits.
That's what I'm honestly curious about.
Shall we strike?
Bombers, are they gonna live?
Hold course.
Hang in there, bombers. Do your thing, I believe in you. They did a lot of damage, just not enough damage.
Engines engaged.
And actually, let me prioritize the deck now.
Enemy in sight.
Keep them from using more of their star pulse generators.
We stand ready. To where we are needed.
And then just play the waiting game, since I have 5
Boarding
points.
successful. Setting priority target.
There, Drifting Hulk there, that's deck's gone.
Where shall we strike? Moving to position. Boarding caused critical
And I
delay.
think we're okay now, to an extent. I just gotta
Engines
do more
engaged.
crew damage to the flagship, I think.
Initiate Thunderhawk bombardment.
You have seized a strategic
Although sadly the
area.
bombers have been deflected easily enough because I timed that poorly.
At your command.
And the damage is of course not what I would like.
I am listening.
But the crew is damaged.
Hold course.
My shields are going to be absorbing a lot of this.
Repositioning.
And again, I have 5 objectives. I just wait this
Give
out.
us purpose.
All I need to do is wait this
Where
out.
we are needed.
Not really much else to be said.
Our rock cannot be denied.
It was sloppy on my part, I imagine. Kind of just recklessly flying into a mass recall.
Full speed.
Now, I can lightning strike.
Repositioning. Repositioning.
Destroy the weaponry, because that's really all that's left. Although, I shouldn't have supercharged Void Shield. My shields weren't recharging yet.
You have accumulated 75% of strategic points.
I did get some of my recharge though, so there is that. Just may not be the most exciting thing.
Where shall we strike?
Now, let's just kill off the crew of these ships. Because they have no Star Pulse generator now.
Give us purpose.
Everything's falling apart for them. More critical hits,
Command.
and more derelict ships.
Advance. Show us the enemy. Underway.
These ships are just limping now.
At your command.
Can I get an opportunity for the Battle Barge to fire
Where shall we
torpedoes?
strike?
Sounds like a silly question, since
Hold course.
it takes so long for the ship to turn around, really.
Initiate targeting protocol.
But I'm about to get more torpedoes up in a moment.
You are close to victory by strategic points.
So let's see if we can kill off this one crew.
Vector acknowledged.
Nope,
Advance.
not this time.
Initiate Thunderhawk bombardment. Main batteries. Fire.
Although it might actually still kill this cruiser if I'm not careful. They still have... Well, they have only 3 weapons left, so maybe not.
To where we are needed.
Alright, if my opponent's gonna sit there and await their demise, then I guess I'll have to finish them off. And they do have a resurrection orb, let's not overlook that
Where shall
fact.
we strike?
May not mean a lot, I guess, but it can reactivate these ships.
Hold course. Give us purpose.
Alright, that's game, finally. Took a while, and I did mess up a little bit flying into that mass recall. But, yeah. 40 damage and the critical hits just eventually give me the victory. Eventually, there was nothing left of those ships, even though I was in a precarious position. It was nice, but probably a little more dramatic than needed to be.